I used to hike a lot when I lived in western North Carolina. I'd go solo most weekends. There's something peaceful about being out there. No traffic, no people, just the wind in the trees. But I had a rule. Never hike after dark, especially not in the Appalachians. Locals always had these little warnings. Not superstitions exactly. More like things they'd say without really explaining. Be back before the fog sets in. Don't answer if you hear your name. Don't whistle. They just say it like it was normal. One weekend last October, I decided to camp overnight. Nothing crazy, just a solo spot near Linville Gorge. I hiked out in the afternoon, made camp by a ridge that overlooked a valley. It was quiet. No cell service, no light pollution. I watched the sun dip below the trees and ate a freeze-dried dinner by the fire. Around 10 p.m., I was tucked into my sleeping bag when I heard it. Someone calling. It wasn't loud, just faint. Far off. Sounded like a woman. At first, I thought it might be another hiker. Maybe someone lost? But it didn't come from the trail. It came from the valley, down in the trees. I sat up and listened. Nothing for maybe a minute. Then, again. Hello? Is someone there? It was the same tone, same rhythm. Almost like it was on a loop. Now, I've done enough solo trips to know how sound carries in the mountains. But this didn't echo like it should have. It felt flat. Too close and too far at the same time. And here's the thing. It knew my name. The next call wasn't just hello. It said, clear as day. Ben, can you help me? I froze. I hadn't told anyone where I was camping except my roommate, and he definitely wasn't up here playing jokes in the middle of nowhere. I didn't answer. Just stayed still in my tent, barely breathing. Then the voice repeated it. Same tone. Same words. Ben, can you help me? Like it was practicing. I finally unzipped the tent just enough to peek outside. Pitch black. The fire had died down to glowing embers. No light, no movement. But the voice kept coming. Now it was off to the left of my camp. A minute later, to the right. I started packing up. Fast, but quiet. I didn't even take the tent down. Just grabbed my pack and flashlight and started heading back toward the trail. The voice followed me. Not footsteps, just the voice. Always the same distance away. Always saying my name. Ben, can you help me? At one point, I made the mistake of turning around and flashing my light into the trees. And for half a second, I swear to God, I saw something too tall to be a person. Not an animal, not a tree. It was standing, watching, and it moved when the light hit it. I booked it after that. Didn't stop until I hit the parking lot around 3 in the morning. Didn't sleep. Didn't speak. The next day, I went back with a park ranger. My tent was shredded. Not like claw marks, like someone had cut it clean with a blade. But there were no footprints. No tracks. No signs anyone had even been there. When I told the ranger about the voice, he just nodded. Didn't even look surprised. Then he said, "You're lucky it didn't follow you all the way back." I still hike now and then, but never alone. And never in the Appalachians. Not anymore. My grandpa lived in a small, beat-up cabin in eastern Kentucky, about 30 minutes from the nearest town. We'd visit him most summers growing up. No cable, no cell service, just woods. Thick, quiet woods. He used to say, "Out here, the trees listen more than people do." I thought that was just old man weirdness. Behind his cabin, there was a trail. Nothing official. Just a narrow path worn down by deer and time. Me and my cousin Jake used to sneak out there when we were bored, even though Grandpa told us not to. He never got mad, but he was serious about it. Said, "If you go back there, be back before dark, and don't answer if you hear your name." We laughed it off. We were kids. What were we gonna do? Not explore the woods? One afternoon, we hiked maybe half a mile in. We didn't bring much, just a couple snacks and a flashlight just in case. The woods back there felt different, colder, even in the middle of July. No birds, no wind, just still. It wasn't scary exactly, but something felt off. We came across this old hunting stand, rotting and half collapsed. Jake climbed up to look around. I stayed on the ground, eating Cheez-Its and tossing pebbles. Then I heard footsteps. Not animals, not like a deer crashing through the brush. This was slow. Crunching leaves, one at a time, coming toward us. I figured it was Grandpa. Maybe he followed us to scare us straight. So I called out, "We're coming back! Don't be mad!" The steps stopped, dead silent. I waited. Nothing. No voice. No movement. Then Jake whispered from the stand, "Someone's standing behind that tree." I looked, and maybe 20 feet away, half hidden behind a big pine, was someone. Just standing there, not moving, not saying anything. I shouted again. No answer. I waved. Still nothing. Whoever it was. They didn't respond. They just stood there, like they were waiting to see what we'd do. That's when Jake came sliding down the ladder. Didn't say a word. Just grabbed my arm and started walking fast. I followed. The whole time, I kept glancing back. Whoever it was never stepped out from behind that tree. Never followed us. But I swear they watched us until we were completely out of sight. We made it back to the cabin around dusk. Grandpa was sitting on the porch, whittling. He looked at us, then just said, "See? You hear your name?" I said no. He nodded and went back to carving. Like that was the only thing he cared to ask. That night, I couldn't sleep. Around 2 a.m., I got up to grab water from the kitchen. When I passed by the back window, I looked out toward the woods, just out of habit, and way down at the edge of the tree line, I saw a figure, still, watching. Could have been nothing. Maybe my eyes playing tricks. But the next morning, Jake said he saw the same thing. Neither of us ever walked that trail again. I still don't know who, or what, that was. And I don't have some big twist or answer. Just a bad feeling that stuck with me ever since.